When the throne marked Captain Rowan Vale for death, it skipped the trial. Because crowns do not debate truth when truth can still be shot in silence. Rowan stood on a wrecked landing deck above the storms of Nerith, with Princess Lysera of Salvaris against his shoulder. The royal daughter history had been ordered to forget. 9 years earlier, she vanished from the archives. Then a Terran patrol intercepted a prison convoy no one was meant to inspect. Rowan opened the cells, found a woman with royal gene marks under prison bruises, and made the worst possible human decision. He decided she mattered. Some rescues save a life, others expose an empire. Lysera expected greed from the human officer, but Rowan gave her water, heat, and a simple promise. You are under my protection now, in Salvaris. That kind of sentence was fantasy. Protection was never given freely. It was purchased, inherited, or betrayed. Yet Rowan proved the words again and again. He lied at checkpoints, bribed crews, fought off bounty hunters, and burned through favors to keep her alive. She told him what the throne had buried. Her mother poisoned before the succession. Loyal servants disappeared. Ministers rewrote lineage records. And Lysera was hidden until even rumor forgot her face. At a neutral relay, Rowan confirmed what the throne feared most. The lost princess lived. Black warrants appeared within hours. Lysera was declared a fraud. Rowan, a kidnapper. And every assassin in the sector suddenly had royal backing. Rowan only checked his rifle and said, "Good. Now we know who is scared." The moment a throne chooses murder over denial, the lie has already cracked. They crossed the outer sectors through smuggler ports and pilgrim ships. Always hunted, always moving, and everywhere Rowan kept doing the same irrational thing. He made people remember they still had choices. On Kepri Dock, he asked a mercenary crew whether they wanted payment for selling a starving woman back to the people who'd buried her alive. Half stepped aside. On the ship Ardent Mercy, he paid for Lysera's medicine with his last command credits. Then repaired a coolant line to earn passage. Lysera watched all of it with disbelief, because the Empire had taught her that power was calculation. Mercy was weakness, and survival always came first. But humans seemed built with a different defect. They could be tired, wounded, hunted, and still find room to care. Rowan never treated her like an icon. He did not kneel or flatter when she asked why he was risking everything for someone his species owed nothing. He answered, "Because your people threw you away and expected the universe to agree. I do not. Empires count bloodlines. Humans count lives. That is why they become dangerous." By the time they reached Kurthon Station, Rowan's old patrol fortress hidden in an asteroid reef, the throne had stopped pretending. A royal strike fleet entered the system under blackout codes. No hails, no claim, only attack formations. They meant to erase the station and everyone inside it. Lysera expected Rowan to arrange an escape. The way nobles always saved the important pieces and abandoned the rest. Instead, he sealed the docking ring, opened every shelter, and transmitted one message. This station is under human protection. If the throne wants the princess, it comes through us. Some declarations do not improve the odds. They simply remove retreat. The fleet opened fire. The first salvo tore apart outer guns. The second cracked the reef shield. The third filled the station with debris alarms and venting air. Rowan launched his pilots anyway. Fighters burned, missiles flashed, and boarding pods slammed into the hull until the whole battle narrowed into corridor war. Then the breach alarms merged with the sound of boots inside the walls. Royal Guard teams in gold armor cut through the lower sectors, expecting smugglers and frightened civilians. What they found was Rowan Vale in a pressure corridor with a carbine and a refusal to move. He vented one compartment to kill the first wave, collapsed a support spine on the second, and met the third at close range where numbers mattered less than nerve. Lysera watched through broken combat feeds as sparks tore the corridor white and recoil battered him back step by step. Yet he would not surrender a single hatch because behind him were medics, mechanics, children, and refugees the throne did not even know existed. That was the weakness of old empires. They only understood lives once a title attached to them. Humans did the opposite. They turned nameless people into reasons to fight harder. Finally, the guard captain broke through the smoke with a shocked blade and drove Rowan to one knee. The command bay fell silent because everyone knows what defeat looks like when it arrives. But Rowan looked up through blood and failing lights. Saw Lysera on the feed and stood anyway. He tore the blade free, shoved the captain into an exposed conduit, and turned the corridor into white fire. When a human stands back up after the galaxy has already decided he should stay down, governments begin to panic. The throne lost Carthon because Lysera stopped running. While Rowan held the corridor, she opened the sealed files he had carried across half the sector and broadcast everything. Her blood proof, her mother's murder records, prison transfers, succession bribes, every signature that turned a princess into a ghost. Across Solvarus, the lie cracked at once. Worker moons revolted, border captains refused black orders. Minor houses declared for the lost bloodline and the royal fleet, suddenly exposed as executioners instead of guardians, hesitated at the exact moment humans are most lethal. Rowan's surviving pilots struck from the reef shadows, reserve guns came back online, and the throne flagship vanished in a bloom of fire across the asteroids. Afterward, Lysera found Rowan in the medical bay wrapped in burned mesh. She asked why he had done it, why a Terran captain had chosen a dead princess over his career. His safety, and perhaps his life. Rowan gave her a tired smile and said, "Because forgotten people are how monsters build thrones. And because once a human says, 'I have got you,' we take that personally." Lysera took his hand then. And as the Empire split under the weight of its own crimes, one truth spread faster than any decree the throne could send. The human had saved the forgotten princess. Now the throne wanted him dead. Which meant the throne had made the fatal mistake in power. It had shown humanity exactly where to aim.